are back on the Ohio State Football Report. Here's what's coming up on today's show. We've got some preseason media polls, a couple different ones, but a common theme among them to react to. A handful of preseason player awards, at least the one from the Kings of the North, and the 2 quarterbacks vying for the starting job have spoken on said battle. Before we get into that, we are days away from fall/summer camp getting going. We are very close to the return of college football. If you are excited, show it by liking today's video. Please and thank you right now. We're going to react to 2 different preseason polls. Kings of the North got a lot of different media people to come in and vote for them, which I think is very important. Consider the Cleveland Plain Dealer also doing their normal Big Ten preseason media poll. Let's break down both of these with very minimal differences. So, Plain Dealer, Penn State narrowly beats out Ohio State for number 1. 11 first-place votes for the Nittany Lions, 10 for Ohio State, 2 for Oregon. A homer picked Michigan. I honestly, come on, let's be serious here. 5th, I'm actually fine with that. Sure, whatever. First, not even James Yoder thinks they're going to win the Big Ten this year. Come on. Indiana 6, Iowa 7, Nebraska, USC, Washington, Minnesota, and then a bunch of bad programs, Wisconsin, Michigan State. They're so going to fire Luke Fickell, by the way. Convinced that's going to happen. Rutgers, UCLA, Maryland, Northwestern, Purdue. Very similar polling to what the Kings of the North did. And this was posted on 11 Warriors, by the way. I think they were involved in the polling. Penn State checks in at number 1, 35 first-place votes. So again, just more voters in this poll. OSU 2, Oregon 3, so no changes. Illinois, Michigan, Indiana. First change, USC swaps with Iowa. 7-9, Trojans take that 7 spot. Washington stays at number 10. Minnesota's 11. Wisconsin is 12. Michigan State's 13. Rutgers, UCLA flip spots. Rutgers tied with Michigan State in the Plain Dealer one. Maryland, Northwestern, and a really bad Purdue team rounding out the bottom. Now, what I did like in what the Kings of the North did is they also listed the Big Ten title game winners. So that's a little bit different than preseason poll, but who wins it? Similar, but some slight differences there. Penn State had 30. Ohio State had 22. So a lot of people thought Penn State might win the Big Ten, but not win the Big Ten championship game, in the early polling, which I would claim is lack of trust in James Franklin, big game time, right? Ohio State's got 22. Oregon has 2. So 1 more for Oregon, a few more for the Buckeyes. So will Ohio State end up winning the Big Ten? Y for yes, N for no? Let me know in the comment section. The pinned comment, by the way, of today's show. Now, this poll also included voting for Defensive and Offensive Player of the Year. Of note, you got 3 points for any first-place vote, 2 points for second, 1 point for third. It was just the top 3. It was a landslide. A runaway in the Defensive Player of the Year for Caleb Downs. He had 140 points. Second place was Danny Dennis Sutton at 43. With 43 points total. 43 first-place votes went to Caleb Downs. So more people thought Downs would be first than Danny Dennis Sutton would even finish in that ranking there. He had 2 first-place votes. Mateo Uyunglele had 2 first-place votes. He had 31 points total. Dylan Thieneman had 22 points. No first-place votes. Mikhail Kamara, the Indiana Edge, had a first-place vote, 20 total. Caleb Downs, a landslide winner in the projected Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, which I would argue is simply correct. Other note, there were a bunch of 1 votes, 2 votes, a couple second-place votes there. Sonny Styles tied for 12th with 2 votes. I don't know if that was a second-place vote or 2 voters had him in third place, but he was honorable mention deep down that list. This Ohio State football hoodie. Well, I guess it's actually just Ohio State hoodie in general. It's not specific for the football team, but it's on sale. Chatsports.com/OSU hoodie. You probably don't need a hoodie right now. It's been plenty warm out there. But you can get yours for the fall. Perfect for those October, November games at the shoe. Chatsports.com/OSU hoodie. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. It's chatsports.com/OSU hoodie. Was 85, now down to 35. Not as big of a runaway, but still pretty good lead for Jeremiah Smith as the Offensive Player of the Year. 137 points. Drew Aller was second with 77, so almost doubled. 39 first-place votes for Aller, 1 first-place vote for third-place finisher Nick Singleton, 10 first-place votes for Aller. Mekhi Hughes, the Tulane transfer at running back at Oregon, was 4th. Fernando Mendoza, the Indiana quarterback transferred in from Cal, was 5th. Of note, Julian Sayin was actually 7th with 4 votes in total. I would assume those are mostly third-place votes there. A lot of the votes probably went to Aller and Singleton for the most part, 2nd, 3rd. But Julian Sayin checks in there at 7th, which is worth mentioning. And I would argue, definitely in the Big Ten, there's no better duo, offense and defense, pick one on each side of the ball. I don't think there's a better duo in college football right now than Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. You pick one offensive player, one defensive player, NBA Jam style. Is there a better one? My thought is no. I'm typing in my 0 for no there, but what do you think? 1 for yes, 0 for no. USA Today dropping their all Big Ten team. Let's break down the 4 players who made it this first team. Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver. Duh. Max Clare. I'm fully on board with that. We'll do an ESPN breakdown. They listed him as the X Factor. Feel like Jake Trout's picking big names, not actually going in depth on it. But Clare is a great player. A huge fan of his game. Sonny Styles, who I think has outside chance, first-round pick potential at linebacker this year. Caleb Downs will be a first-round pick. Jeremiah Smith next year will be a first-round pick. Tight ends are kind of weird, but Max Clare probably is the top 75 guy. These guys are no-brainers for me. We are just 86 subs away from 11,000 here on the Ohio State Football Report. Don't miss out. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/GoBucks. Let's discuss latest on the quarterback battle. Both Julian Sayin and Lincoln Kienholz, as part of an event, I think it was on Friday, spoke with 11 Warriors about the quarterback battle. Let's take a look at some of what they had to say. Saying on the battle, so we have a competitive room. Me, Link, Tavian, Eli, all the guys. It's definitely fun. It's competitive, but we have each other's backs no matter what. It's definitely good to have a competitive room because it brings the best out of each other. But off the field, we have each other's backs no matter what. We're supportive of each other. Kienholz, meanwhile, saying we're pushing each other. And Jules is a great dude, a great quarterback as well. I think in general, isn't that what we want to hear? Don't you want to hear that there's good, friendly competition, not like one guy's tearing down the other or whatever? It's not negative recruiting, negative competition. It's positive. It's building each other up. It's both guys are making each other better. And even Tavian St. Clair, Brick Handle helping out in that regard as well. I think that's what you want to see. So grade the Ohio State quarterback room for me. Just overall, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments of today's show. Sayin also spoke about kind of what he's trying to learn. Said, I think I've grown understanding more about the game, watching tape, being able to match routes with my feet and my drop and all of those things. I think spring, it's a great time because we got so many reps this spring. Let's get on the same page with receivers and just improving the offense as a unit. Now, what Sayin means when he means matching the routes with his feet and his drop, if you're doing a three-step drop and you're throwing a slant, for example, you want that three-step drop to finish as the receiver's route is timing up to snap it off and get open. What you don't want is to do a three-step drop and the receiver's slant has not begun yet. He's still going downfield, has not cut inside yet. Because then your timing's off. If you're doing multiple route combinations and one receiver's behind, you want everything to be on time. Talk about being a point guard distributor. That's what we're talking about. Being able to do your drop, get to your read. If not there, get to your second read and be efficient. And I think reps, experience, all of those things come with that. It also mentioned being on the same page. That stuff matters too. Certainly sounds like as the spring went along, Sayin got better, and the expectation is at some point in fall camp he will be named the starter. But I do appreciate this insight from Kienholz as well on the battle. It's honestly a defining moment for my career. I feel like it is because I'm going to go out there and play a lot or start depending on what happens in fall camp. I think he's right. Not even just for his college career. If you start for Ohio State, whether it's 1 year or multiple years, you're going to get an NFL chance. So for a kid from South Dakota, you got to feel like he knows everything is in front of him. Now, I think the likely outcome here is, knock on wood, Sayin plays great. They don't need Kienholz. He hits the transfer portal, goes to play for Stanford next year, if maybe they're not as bad as they're going to be this upcoming season. That does intrigue me. But I think for the time being, probably more likely Sayin. But I do want these guys to keep pushing each other as they move forward.